Is it Qatar first now? What happened to America first? The Trump administration recently signed an agreement with Qatar that declared the U.S. shall regard any armed attack on the territory, sovereignty, or critical infrastructure of Qatar as a threat to the peace and safety of the U.S. An attack on Qatar is considered a threat to the security of the U.S., and that in the event of such attack, the U.S. will take all lawful and appropriate measures, including diplomatic, economic, and, if necessary, military, to defend the interest of the U.S. and Qatar. What the hell? So much to unpack here, and I will do my best, but I do encourage you to go to whitehouse.gov and read this for yourself. The first thought is this sounds like a treaty, and my understanding is the president can't make a treaty unilaterally, and the Senate has to approve any treaty. This also ensures that if Iran attacks Qatar, that we will be involved. Before doing this, Trump had Netanyahu apologize for attacking and killing leaders of Hamas that were in Qatar. So you have to wonder about the whole narrative that Israel/Netanyahu controlled Trump. Trump owns this art of the deal maneuver, and this is just the type of entangling alliance George Washington warned against. To make matters worse, Qatar is long known for funding terrorist organizations throughout the world, including Hamas and Al-Qaeda, and the royal family has a close relationship with the Muslim Brotherhood. And don't forget, the Trump administration wants Qatar and the Saudis to invest in America. If they invest in America, you can bet they're going to infest America. How many epic cities will that result in across America? I encourage everyone to read the latest town hall article on Qatar and their long history of terror financing written by Amy Curtis, posted last Friday. Speaking of Islamist doctrine, did you know this is happening here in Tennessee under the new voucher program being pushed by Bill Lee and the establishment? Multiple Islamic schools across the state are now using our tax dollars to fund Islamic schools that promote Sharia law and jihad. Who knew? Well, anybody without crap for brains knew this would happen, but it gets worse. Representative Jody Barrett brought this up during session when he was opposing the voucher bill but was ignored. That means every Republican that voted for this was okay with funding private institutions that promote Sharia law and jihad. That's how pathetic our Republican supermajority is. Full story on that is at the Newman Report, freedomproject.com. The SecDef speech last week was spot on and way overdue. In my opinion, they really need to look hard at anyone promoted during the Obama or Biden years, general officers and admirals and so on, and really the first Trump term since he was so undermined by senior leaders at the time. I do have one major concern, and that's Trump's follow-on speech where he referenced the fight in our cities. Fighting crime in cities is not the purpose of our military. Even rebellions require the legislature or governor to request support. We don't need to get accustomed to the use of the military, including the National Guard, in our cities. The dirty 7th District race. Who is the best candidate for the 7th District seat abandoned by Mark Green? Well, ultimately, the voters will decide tomorrow, and what so far has been a very dirty race, with most of the dirt being slung at State Rep. Jody Barrett by outside groups. In a report by 90.3 WPLN, written by Mariana Bacallo, it seems that more than $840,000 has been spent by out-of-state groups against Jody Barrett. The out-of-state PAC School Freedom Fund, a pro-voucher organization, spent $500,000 against Barrett, who opposed vouchers. Only one man is listed as funding the PAC this year, and that is Jeff Yass, a billionaire and one of the richest men in the world. Matt Van Epps, also a leading contender in the race and endorsed by Green after he quit his post, has received more than $500,000, including some from a PAC heavily funded by Jeff Bezos, known as the Patriotic Fund. So the pro-voucher crowd, including the out-of-state funders, are trying to weigh in on our elections. Think about that when you go to vote tomorrow. That should not be allowed at all, in my opinion. That wraps up this installment of the Informer Report. If you have a news story that you want to alert us to, be sure to send us an email at tninformer.tv@gmail.com.